Piedmont Park in Atlanta, a place where people come to relax, walk their pets, and escape the city hustle. But on the night of July 28, 2021, this park became the scene of one of Atlanta's most brutal crimes. That night, the life of Katie Janis, a talented 40-year-old full of love for life, music, and animals, was ended in the most brutal way. Along with her faithful companion, dog Bowie, was also killed. Nearly 4 years later, their killers still walk free, while family and friends wait for justice that seems nowhere in sight. That evening, Katie did what she had done countless times before. She took Bowie for a walk through the park. The sky over Atlanta was clear, the temperature pleasant for a July evening. Her partner, Emma Clark, was expecting the usual message that they had arrived home safely. But that message would never come. Surveillance cameras captured Katie using a crosswalk near the park. This would be the last recorded image of Katie Janis alive. Hours later, this ordinary evening walk would turn into a nightmare. Growing increasingly worried about Katie's failure to respond to calls and messages, Emma used a phone tracking app to begin her desperate search. What she found at the park entrance would haunt her forever: the bodies of her beloved Katie and their dog Bowie. The scene was chaotic as officers arrived. Flashing lights illuminated the park entrance, casting long shadows on the ground. Residents gathered nearby, their faces pale with fear and confusion. Piedmont Park, a symbol of community and safety, now felt menacing. As news of the crime spread, Atlanta reeled in shock. Katie's friends and family were left grappling with an unimaginable loss. She was the best person in the world, Katie's friend Paige Crawford said through tears. She knew how to appreciate the little things in life. Now all of that was brutally taken away. Katie was more than just a bartender. She was a soul full of warmth, a songwriter, and a social justice advocate. Her love for animals was evident in every moment she spent with Bowie, her loyal companion. The crime details were so horrific they shocked even experienced investigators. Katie had been stabbed more than 50 times, including 15 times in the head. In a final act of unimaginable cruelty, the killer carved the letters F, A, and T into her chest. Her faithful Bowie, who likely tried to protect her, was also killed. 2 days after the murder, more than 100 people gathered in the park to light candles for Katie. Flowers, photographs, and messages flooded the scene of the tragedy. The questions came quickly. Who could commit such a brutal act? Was it a random attack, or was it personal? The autopsy revealed details that hinted at high emotions and possible familiarity between Katie and her killer, but no definitive answers emerged. The park's security cameras, meant to offer a sense of safety, were inactive that night due to outdated technology, leaving investigators with no footage of the crime itself. Emma Clark faced public suspicion and received death threats through phone calls, which led her to purchase a gun. Her senseless death affects our lives in a way that's hard to describe, the Clark family stated on the second anniversary of the murder. Katie was a beautiful, talented soul who had so much to give to the world. She was always a champion for those who needed help. Police claim they are actively working on the case. The FBI is involved, analyzing mobile phone data and biological evidence. More than 30 security cameras were finally installed in the park, 9 months too late to record this crime. The reward for information has been increased to $20,000. While police search for the killer, family and friends hope justice will finally come. We pray that the Atlanta Police Department and the FBI find this monster before they repeat the heinous acts done to our sweet Katie and her precious dog Bowie, the family says. If you have any information about this case, you can anonymously contact Crime Stoppers Atlanta at 404-577-TIPS. or visit www.stopcrimeatl.com. The bench in the dog park, where Katie and Bowie once spent happy hours together, stood as a somber reminder of lives stolen too soon. Katie Janice and her faithful Bowie deserve justice, and their killer must not remain unpunished.